Hi, my name is TVO, and today we'll deep dive into why Cecil doesn't trust Mark and why low-key makes perfect sense. Anyways, cue the intro. Let's get it. Let's go. As you may know, Season 3 of Invincible is officially over. And now that it's over, I've been seeing people with the craziest takes. And one of those takes is that it's understandable why Mark doesn't trust Cecil. I'm gonna make the counter argument. I think it's a great reason why Cecil doesn't really trust Mark. So enough talking, let's deep dive. As we jump right into the latest season, there's still tension between Mark and Cecil. The reason for that is because he's been spying on Mark's family and he wants the government to help raise Oliver instead of Mark's mom, Debbie. And then to make it worse, Cecil ends up getting caught spying on Mark, aka listening on all of Mark's conversations that goes on within his house. And that truly begins the deterioration between the trust between Cecil and Mark. And I totally get it. I can see why somebody will argue why Mark is in the right to not trust Cecil. But you gotta think about it from Cecil's point of view. He had to see the strongest niggas on planet Earth get done like this. Fine. What 17 more years? I can always start again. Make another kid. Nah, you thought I was done? Roll a clip of the Guardians of the Globe.
I've been roaming around, always looking down at all I see. Painted faces fill the places I
Treat it like some fucking baby food. So now I want you to think, what would you do if you were Cecil? Huh? How would you feel if the Earth's strongest heroes just got put in a spiff and now you gotta deal with his son, who, as he gets older, is becoming more and more irrational and not willing to grow out of his kid mindset thinking that everything is black and white. A good example of this is the whole situation with Darkwing. For some context, after Darkseid kidnapped every single superhero in the world, the only people left was Invincible and Adam Eve. And you wanna know what happened? They fucking lost. They got put in a spiff. And you know who comes in and saves the day? Darkwing. You wanna know how this shit was made possible? Cecil. He still seen the good in Darkwing, so he made use of him. A decision that directly saved thousands of lives. Because without the heroes, they're absolutely cooked. But Mark wasn't mature enough to see this. And instead of even thanking Darkwing, he went straight to Cecil. And instead of arguing his points and talking through this thoroughly, he starts getting angry, he starts getting irrational, and he starts yelling his voice. And during the conversation, he starts demanding instead of talking. And that's exactly what Cecil was afraid of. He was afraid of Mark abusing his power. So now you start to wonder, was him planting a bomb in the strongest person on Earth's head really that bad of a plan? Was it a breach of trust, or was he just protecting everyone? You see, that episode made it so clear that Mark's ideologies simply does not work. Because if he got it his way, everybody would have died. Because Darkwing would have been in a cell rotting somewhere. And that's why I totally agree with Cecil. Why would he put his trust in an immature teenager, a hero that was willing to abandon the entire world for his fiance? Hell, his little brother was putting in more work than him. This tells Cecil that Mark is willing to put the world in danger if it benefits him. Like, he didn't even think about his little brother or his mom. And these are supposed to be the two most important people on the planet for him. This isn't giving Cecil a lot to trust. Now, do I agree with Cecil keeping Conquest alive? Hell no. Do I agree with all the people that he allows to roam free, all because they're able to be slightly useful to him? No, not all the time. But do I get where he's coming from? Absolutely 1000%. Because when it comes down to it, you really can't trust Mark if you're Cecil. He's childish, inefficient, half alien, and when the world is at stake, he is not willing to do what he needs to do. He allowed the Mauler twins to stay alive and terrorize people. He left the world unattended for 3 months. Him holding back allowed Angstrom to get away for a second time. And this is all within Season 3. And we're not even going to talk about Season 1 or 2 or even the comic books because that would just be overkill. And also, I don't like to spoil people who have not read the comics already. Now, you guys go down in the comments below and you guys let me know, do you agree with Cecil not trusting Mark, or do you see Mark's point of view and you completely trust him? Anyways, I'm out. Cue the music.